Good morning, everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh, we got a little echo. Good morning. Today is Monday, July 21st. My name is Arlisha Wilson. I'll be the chair of today's meeting. We're going to go ahead and get started. We'll start first with the reading of the preamble. Madam Secretary.
Good morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals, and I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning, this Monday, July 21st. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law and section 101.021 of the codified ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We've also received emails from those who provided written comment on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Can we call the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Madison.
Present.
Ms. Roca. Present. Ms. Holzer.
Present.
Ms. Faith will be absent this morning. And Ms. Wilson.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum with 4 members. We should state for the record to the applicants at this time that with 4 members, you run the risk of a tied vote. If there is a tied vote, the variance is denied. So at this time, the appellants may request a postponement to a future date when we would have 5 members.
Okay. Any appellant present who would like to request a postponement given the fact we don't have all 5 members today? All right, hearing none, we'll call all of the cases on the agenda. Do we have any postponements or withdrawals today, Madam Secretary?
We have 2 this morning, Madam Chair.
Okay.
The first one I will announce is calendar number 25-092 at 360 West Park Road, Smith Road LLC, proposed to change use from gym to event center and local retail business district. This case was actually postponed last week officially so that we could get letters out to the neighbors. So I believe most people have been notified, but we should still announce it today that the new date is August 25th. This request was made at the request of the City Planning Commission.
All right, so if you are here for the case that is located at 3601 West Park Road, we will not hear testimony in that case today. You can come back and see us on August 25th. Any other postponements or withdrawals?
Yes, the second one is the first item on the agenda, calendar 25-109 at 5400 Chester Avenue. Chester Sunshine LLC owner proposed to change use from offices to smoke shop in a Midtown mixed-use district. There's a notation on the adjudication that City Planning Commission approval is required. City Planning Commission has not had the time to get to this case yet. The neighborhood planner has been away, so they need more time.
Okay. And did they request a date? What date are we thinking for this one?
They did not give me a specific date. Generally, we do 30 days. The next week after that would be September 8th.
Okay.
So either August 25th or September 8th.
Let's just do September 8th, make sure that they have enough time.
Okay, that's good to me.
So if you're here for the case located at 5400 Chester Avenue, that case has been postponed. We will hear testimony on September 8th and not today. Any other postponements or withdrawals?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So we're now going to call the first case. This is at 11128 Forest Avenue. Do we have anyone present on behalf of Natasha Clark? All right. I can see you coming on up. Perfect. While you do that, I'll have Ms. Holzer read in the case.
All right, our first case is calendar number 25-110. This is at 11128 Forest Avenue. Natasha Clark, owner, proposes to construct a single-family residence with a front-loading attached garage in a B1 two-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. With that, I will hand it back to Ms. Roca for the oath, I'm assuming.
Yes, I think that's correct.
Cool.
Thanks, Ms. Olzer. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your right hand, state your name, spell your name, and give your address.
Kurt Weaver, KURTWEAVER, 2008 Valentine Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio. I do.
Thank you.
Albert Robinson, ALBERT ROBINSON. I live at 902 Herrick Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44108.
And do you swear?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Is there anyone on the call for this case? Oh, not that many people on the call, looks like. Not seeing anyone, Madam Chair, so back to you.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Roca. Let's go to history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, we found only that in 1950, there was a permit issued to erect sleeping rooms on a third, or it's established sleeping rooms on a third floor of a building on the site, and to erect a chain link fence in 1971. And then, Madam Chair, probably the most important information is that, well, there's no variances on file, and that November of 2024, a permit was issued to demolish a two-story, two-family dwelling on the site. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
All right, legal, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting an area variance from the garage requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. We'll now go to the project team. I noticed that Natasha Clark is the owner. Do you guys have authorization to speak on behalf of Ms. Clark?
Yes, we filed a quit claim on 7/3/2025. And I think it was put into, the company name,
Okay, and what's the name of the company?
A&D Enterprises.
Okay, and do you represent A&D Enterprises?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Who would like to speak first?
Good morning, Madam Chair. Kurt Weaver, architect. I just wanted to briefly overview the project as a new single-family residence to be placed on the site. We are seeing the photographs. That's the house to the east. Next slide. That's the site itself. Next slide. The street as it goes to the west. Next slide, please. That is looking, so that's catty corner, looking north on East 112th Street and looking to the east slightly. So the adjacent house in that direction. Next slide, please. Kind of catty corner across the street is that vacant lot on the corner of East 112th. Next slide, please. That is the house that is opposite. We're still looking to the east. Next slide, please. And then again, the houses that are opposite, looking slightly to the west and north. Next slide. That's looking to the west, continuing down the street. Next slide, please. This is the site plan that was prepared in the document set. That is the site preparation plan that shows the footprint of the former home that has been removed. Next slide, please. And then this was our proposed site plan that was in this drawing setup submitted for permit. Next slide, please. There was we were attempting to connect and work with city planning. There was some feedback from city planning. So we did a brief sketch here to show the opportunity of aligning the driveway a little straighter and sliding the house back so that the front porch would align with the primary setback line of the structure of the adjacent houses. And that's all we have for the presentation at the moment.
Okay, anything you would like to add?
Yes, ma'am. My name's Albert Robinson. I'm the demolition contractor that actually did the demolition at this property. The reason that we chose to start to rebuild in the community is because I'm local. I'm from the Glenville area. I also have relatives in this area for the past, 20, 30 years. And just driving through the neighborhoods which I frequent, just seeing all of the stuff that we're taking down, I just wanted to build something to put back for the people in the community. One of the things that I've noticed is people, no matter what happens in the area, people still want to live in the community. They're tied to the community. So I just wanted to put something useful back in the community because I've been responsible for taking so much out, and it just started to affect me. So I just wanted to do something positive for the area.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Yes, Madam Chair. I think we're here for a garage variance, and I'm not sure I've heard much about the garage. So if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Madam Chair, so our house form is it's a single family home. It is a structure that will have a crawl space to facilitate infrastructure and the soundness of the home. The garage is a front-loaded garage that is attached and integral with the house. I think part of the theory here was that basically to preserve as much of the backyard as a backyard as possible. We do have increased concerns for hardscape versus softscape. This works to accomplish that in terms of a ratio of hardscape to softscape. It's maximizing the softscape as much as possible by allowing the garage to be attached and front loaded, which is atypical to the neighborhood in the former housing stock. But we know from user input and feedback that having attached garage is desirable. People like to be able to pull into their garage and close their garage door and be home. So that's what we've done. That's what we're showing. The home itself was a preconceived or pre-designed home that we adapted and modified to fit the site. It requires the width of the site that we have, and there's not a lot of other room other than that. Not that we couldn't continue to work on it with whatever dialogue and feedback that might be necessary.
So I see that there's lots of space in the backyard. I don't see the dimensions or any measurements, but have you all explored just simply putting the garage in the back of the house as opposed to having it front loaded?
Frankly, we have not. And it's that idea that the house, the width of the house and the format of the house is such that, again, changing the design of the house, making a narrower house, paving more than half of the property to put a garage in the back, a detached garage in the backyard, just wasn't something that we looked at.
Okay, other questions from the board?
Yes, Madam Chair. So is there an alley in the back way? Would there be a way to get?
Oh, ma'am.
No, so you would have to bring if you were to move it to the backyard, you would have to bring a driveway in from the front.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All I have at this time, Madam Chair.
So there's not already an existing driveway there?
There was. And there's a piece left.
Okay. And, hi,
Oh,
are you here for this matter? Oh, please, come forward.
have you come forward and we'll swear you in.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
We'll have you raise your hand, and do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth? Please state your name, spell your name, and give your address, and 601 Lakeside will work for you.
Hey, Councilwoman Deborah Gray, DeborahGray, 601 Lakeside Avenue. I do.
Thank you. All right, Madam Chair.
All right, please.
Yes, I met the gentleman. We met on the street about a month or so ago, right?
Yes,
3
ma'am.
weeks or so. I met him and we did a walkthrough of the area, which I know quite well. I live a couple streets away from the area. And he did discuss his project with me. There is an apron. An apron was left when the house was tore down. And normally that apron should have been lifted from demolition, but that apron is still there. That's where you're able to see where the driveway was all the way to the back to the garage per se. But that's the only thing that's left. But however, he did show me his plans, walk me through his plans. And I explained to him that this would be a new look on the street per se. And I know moving forward, we know the designs of the houses that's being built in Ward 4 are going to look different than what the houses look like now. Because the new long-term sustainability is for the houses to be attractive to new families that will be moving into Ward 4. So we're looking for the developers to bring in a different design for the attraction of new families, young working families that, that's looking for something different instead of the normal standard style of houses that's on the street. So I gave him an example of a house that that came to the landmark board per se, a family, which he knows the family per se. It was a house design similar to that in Little Italy district, and they had the garage in the front of the house, whereas they would enter the garage from off the street. And that particular was kind of that house. I really liked the design myself, but we did pass it through eventually, per se, due to the circumstances. They kept coming. So I'm just saying this as a homeowner in that community, been there for over 35 years as a homeowner in that area per se. We know now the developers that I have sat with, many other developers, young Black men developers, young Caucasian men that's coming into the community, that's designing different style of homes that will be attractive to more of the long-term sustainability of young families that's looking for something different, as to bring their families in and for them to be there long-term per se. As a homeowner, and as I could talk with a lot of people that want to come back into the community, asking them, what do they want to see? What will attract them to come back into the community? So we're trying to make it accessible so we can build our neighborhoods back. We can bring young families back in the community so they can be comfortable in a stylish house that they would like to be in the ward and be long-term as well. So due to us talking for almost an hour in the neighborhood, but I did also ask him to go knock on doors with all the homeowners who've been there for years, 30, 40, 50 years, to have a conversation with them as well to see how would they like this house looking different, than the other houses on the street. He needs that feedback as well, and not only from me. So I hope he done that. That's because you guys know, that's part of my protocol for them, for him to be attentive to the homeowners on the street. So, so he can get that feedback. But I personally, as as the council and also as a homeowner, I embrace and invite different designs now to come into that community so we can open up something different, beautiful, innovative, so we can attract more young homeowners, young buyers to come into that community so we can build our neighborhood back and we can start building different type of homes to be attracted to different type of new first-time home buyers too.
Okay.
So we had that deep dive conversation per se, but I hope did you take the initiative to knock on doors and talk to the homeowners on the street?
Well, we had a plan too. We did talk to some people the day we were there, but we haven't been able to get back on the street.
Well, that's.
We did plan to. We plan to. It's just things were moving, pretty fast, and we have.
Well,
a
that's
lot
a
of
plan that you
obligations.
have to complete.
Yeah, we will. We could.
Okay.
I mean, it's. We'll go on the street and talk to the folk.
Okay, so.
Okay, sounds like you have something to add.
I just wondered if it would be appropriate for us to hear from city planning.
Oh, of
and
course, we're gonna
that-
get there.
That I appreciate the councilwoman's contribution to our conversation, and that if we're amenable to allowing a continuance for us to engage with the neighborhood and with city planning, if that's appropriate.
Okay, so my question would be, the legal standard that we have to consider for this matter, is that, you have to prove that if the variance is denied, it'll create a practical difficulty that's not generally shared by other land or buildings. So can either one of you speak to that?
I guess I just want to continue to loop back to, we have the testimony of the councilwoman and her desire for alternatives to the housing stock that's available in the neighborhood. And earlier, I made a comment about the ratio of solid to void, to softscape to hardscape. And I feel strongly that the less amount of concrete that we could put into place, the better. So having a huge backyard for a family, to me, seems way more important than the alternatives. And I think my homework is to bring back the ratios of how much land we have and how much we're paving and how this shows to be an improvement over what the prior model was in harmony with the homework that's necessary and the councilwoman's support.
I'd just like to add, really two practical things. The one is the safety. So a lot of people in all the inner city neighborhoods, when, asked why they don't live there, a lot of people, oh, it's not safe. Just pulling up, going in, hit your garage door open, or being able to pull in, close the garage creates that. Also, as far as the way the style of the house and how it is positioned on the land, it also, the secure backyard kind of gives the privacy and safety thing of allowing the backyard to be fenced in, that kind of thing. And really, that for me is a built-in benefit that is needed and is necessary, just because that topic comes up with people all the time. Hey, why don't you live here? What's the problem? You guys come down here, hang out, buy food, whatever they do. Why not live here? Oh, because of these reasons, and safety comes up.
Okay. All right. Do we have any comments from city planning?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Xavier Bay. I'm going to be representing city planning today. We do enjoy to see, the reestablishment of neighborhoods through infill housing, but we are in opposition of the proposal of a front-loaded garage, as we've passed legislation about 5 or 6 years ago to really bring forth more design that has more pedestrian-friendly aspect to it. And so this lot being 40 by 140 in dimensions. It seems reasonable that there should be space in the rear of the structure to erect a garage. And I guess to this fact, or like to the point of hardscape, it is possible to design the driveways with other means as to allow drainage into the lot other than just your typical pavement. So that I would, bring that up just for the developers to explore. But we do stand in opposition for a front-loaded garage. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Any other questions from the board?
So Madam Chair, I just want to clarify. It's not that there isn't space in the backyard. It's just that option has not been explored. Is that correct?
And not only I can't say that we didn't explore it because we did do some design sketches, Madam Chair, to the respond. But it's really coming back to the conversation that we've had about safety and something a little different than what is normally there. And this aspect of a backyard versus concrete or any other. There are alternatives, we could do pavers or grass pave or some other thing, but all of that's the nature of design. All of these things are simultaneously choreographed to have everything come out as best as we can anticipate so that we can accomplish what we are setting out to accomplish.
So is it true that you can still have an attached garage, but place it in the rear of the building?
So there could be the potential possibility of, let's say, for argument's sake, just completely flip-flopping this entire house so that the garage is now in the back. But we just did that. We just flip-flopped the entire house. So we're starting over on design and we're reworking a new strategy for a garage solution as opposed to a home solution, which is what our client brought to us.
Okay, so is that like a yes? Is it possible to design a
Yes,
building with a
possible.
garage in the back?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? All right, hearing no questions. Do you have another comment?
I just feel like we want to request a continuance.
I am always hesitant to continue a matter when we've spent 30 minutes on the record discussing this. What would be the basis for your requests?
Well, I hope we aren't denied.
Well, I mean, we don't know how the board is going to vote at this moment, but if you are denied, then it would just be a matter of going back to, reconfigure your designs. And I mean, if you need additional variances at that point, you could certainly come back because it would be a different variance. Ms. Leonard, I can see that your hand is raised. Please chime in.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Shannon Leonard, Chief Zoning Administrator. Has the applicant worked with city planning through the housing design review process that's required for any new construction housing in the city of Cleveland?
No.
I am
Yes.
here if not.
If they have not, I would request that maybe they would work with the neighborhood planner and go through HDRS to work on design, review for this new construction and then come back to the board if they still need the variance.
Okay, so if they go that route, do we still need to vote today?
You could maybe postpone it as the applicant is requesting.
Okay, any board members in opposition to a postponement?
No opposition.
No opposition.
All right, hearing none, we will postpone. How much time, Ms. Leonard, will they need for that?
I would give them 30 days.
Okay. Madam
if they're not
Secretary,
opposed.
30 days, okay?
So Madam Chair, that would be August 25th approximately, or August 25th is filling up, so possibly September 8th then.
Okay,
We could do
let's
September
do
8th.
September 8th. So we'll continue this to September 8th. And you all will go through the process that Ms. Leonard has suggested, and we'll see you back here on the 8th.
Thank you very much.
All right, you're very welcome. We're now going to call the next case, which is calendar number 25-112, This is at 13802 Lyric Avenue. Do we have Tamika James present? All right, Ms. Hoser, can you go ahead and read the case in?
Our next case is calendar number 25-112. This is at 13802 Lyric Avenue. Tamika James, owner, proposes to erect a detached garage on a residential corner lot in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it over to Ms. Roca for the oath.
Thank you, Ms. Holzer. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand, state I do, give your name, spell your name, and give your address.
I do. Tamika James, TEMEKCA JAMES, 13802 Lyric Avenue.
And is there anyone else in the room who wishes to speak in this matter? Anyone on the call? Looks like someone has their hand up. We'll move to you.
Yeah. Melissa Miller Sedlock, Jefferson Purtis West Park Community Development Corporation, 14703 Purtis Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44135.
Do you swear, and can you also spell your last name, please?
Yes, my last name is Sedlock.
Thank you. Anyone else on the call? Did we hear you say that you swear as well, ma'am?
Yes, I swear.
Thank you. Not seeing anyone. Back to you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. We'll go to history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. There are no variances on file for this address. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1963, a permit was issued to erect aluminum siding to an existing single-family dwelling and also to erect a one-story private garage. Then in the more recent history, in 2012, there was a certificate of disclosure issued stating that the authorized use of the property is a single-family dwelling. And then we do see that there was a violation notice issued in 2019 for exterior maintenance, but I wasn't able to get any more details on that. And that's all that I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can we have legal, please?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the garage requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
All right, thank you for that. We'll now go to the project team. You want to tell us about your project?
I'm going to be getting the garage done over, well, tore down, demolished, and just put back.
Okay, and are you putting it back exactly as it is? Okay, seems pretty straightforward. Any questions from the board based on what she has represented here? All right, Ms. Miller Sedlock, we'll turn to you.
We fully support this variance. It is being placed exactly where it is. It is just because of how codes have changed since it was originally established that it is even in front of the board. So we fully support this variance and appreciate the work that is going into this house in the neighborhood.
All right, thank you for that. Any word from city planning?
Good morning. My name is Xavier Bay, representing city planning. So as was mentioned, the garage is being placed in the same building footprint as it is currently. The applicant's only asking for 5 feet of relief, so we don't see an issue with this proposal. I'll also mention during the site visit, there's a lot of context of this kind of like a side-facing garage layout for a lot of the homes in the neighborhood. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. I'll open it up for questions one more time. If there are no questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Madam Chair, I'm ready to move.
Okay, go right ahead.
Based on the testimony we've heard today, I move that we approve calendar number 25-112.
Board Member Madison, second.
All right, can we call the vote?
Ms. Holzer,
Yes.
Mr. Madison,
Yes.
Ms. Roca,
Yes.
Ms. Wilson.
Yes.
Calendar number 25-112 is granted. It'll be ratified next Monday. We'll send you a letter, but you can also contact us next Wednesday for further instruction.
Okay.
All right, you're all set. Good luck with your project.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You're welcome. You too. We're now going to call the next case, which is calendar number 25-113. Do we have someone on behalf of Matos Home Renovations and Rentals LLC?
Yes.
All right, perfect. Come on forward. And while you do that, Ms. Hoser will read in the case.
Our next case is calendar number 25-113. This is at 2900 York Avenue. Matos Home Renovation and Rentals LLC owner proposes to erect a second floor addition with a one-story gabled attached garage to an existing single family residence in a B12 family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are 5. And with that, I will hand it back to Ms. Roca for the oath.
Thank you, Ms. Holzer. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your right hand, state I do, state your name, spell your name, and give your address.
Ryan Manji,
I'm sorry, you'll have to speak up a little bit.
Ryan Manji, RYAN
RYAN
MONGE.
MONGE.
Why don't you take the microphone and put it a little bit closer to you?
And then your address.
2106 West 33rd, Cleveland, Ohio, 44113.
And do you swear?
I swear.
Okay, thank you.
Name's Joe Matos, JOE METOS. And address?
Address?
3403 Hancock, HANCOCK, Cleveland, Ohio, 44113.
And do you swear?
I swear.
Thank you, sir.
Andrew Matos, ANDREWMATOS, address 3403 Hancock, HANCOCK, Cleveland, Ohio, 44113.
And you swear?
I swear.
Is there anyone on the call for this case? I'm not seeing anyone. Anyone else in the room? Not seeing anyone. Back to you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you for that, Ms. Roca. We'll go to history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. In our Records Administration Office, we found that in 1931, a permit was issued for a one-story addition to the property. And then, Madam Chair, we did find a variance on file for this address. Calendar number, get to that page, I'm sorry. 50-372. This board granted a variance to, where is language? To add a 5x7 extension to the side of the front porch already at the street line and beyond the 4-foot building line on the front of the frame dwelling on a 48-by-42 lot located in the same zoning district. This board granted the variance with no conditions.
What year was that?
And that was in 1950.
Wow.
And then, Madam Chair, we see only in the more recent history that in 2001, there were 4 violations issued to the property. I wasn't able to get any information on that.
Okay.
That's all that I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can we have legal, please?
Yes, and Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting area variances from the front yard encroachment, required front yard setback, maximum gross floor area, interior side yard, minimum required distance, and garage requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Also note, Madam Chair, that the board is restricted in its authority to grant a front yard setback per section 32904C of our codified ordinances unless certain circumstances exist. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. Who would like to speak first?
I will.
Just state your name before you speak and go right ahead.
Joe Matos. And so the last thing that he was just saying about the setback. So all we did was build up.
The foundation was the previous foundation. We tore off. It was a single family home. Was it a ranch? Like a one-story house? And we decided to go up with it. And as far as like the bit from the sidewalk lines and stuff like that, we really can't do nothing about it because the foundation was already set there. And as far as the garage, I'm pretty sure we have enough clearance on either side of the garage. So I actually sold,
Your name?
Andrew Matos. I actually sold I was here a few months ago. I got approved from you guys to sell the neighbor half of the yard there. So we actually have all the measurements. You know, the neighbor was fine with it, okay with it. We built off the existing foundation. We just built up off of it. So we didn't, we didn't take no room for the neighbors, nothing like that.
So this house had been demolished already, or state your name?
Right. No, the house wasn't demolished. The house, somebody was actually living in it when he bought the house.
Okay,
We decided to remodel it. We tore down everything that was bad, which was platted house. So the foundation still was good. So the footprint of the house remained the same. None
okay,
of no size of the footprint changed at all. So what was there was already, what they mean by we built up, we just added a second story to it. So the lot size was bigger because if you look at the, not sure if it's there, but so behind the garage and the house that they're talking about, the 3 feet that are together, behind them two, that the house right there on the left, the ones with the trucks in front of right there. So next to him, there was another part of the lot that was with it. And they put behind the garage, they put a line because he sold them half of it.
okay.
Yeah, that was the property that Andrew
we're all-
Matos, that was the property
we're all
that I
not there
sold
with
it to
the-
him.
Wait, you can't,
I'm
you
sorry.
have more than one person
Sorry,
talking
sorry.
because my court reporter has to write down everything we're saying. So just one person at a
The
time.
house with the 2-car garage next to him, he sold him half of the lot because when he bought the property, it came with the house where the garage is at and another section of it behind it that went to 30th Street.
Okay. Okay, so I think in my mind, I'm wondering about that previous variance and how that could affect the 5 variances that are listed here. So I know the one from 1950, there was already a variance that was granted to extend the porch to the street line. So I guess question maybe to Chief Leonard, does that previous variance nix, the issue perhaps with variance number 2, which speaks to that setback?
Can you rephrase that question? The
Sure.
setback, the variance did they receive a variance for this particular address?
Yes, there was a variance issued in 1950 in calendar number 50-372. It was granted to extend the front porch, which was, I guess close to the street line. So my question is, they're asking for a variance regarding this front yard setback when it seems to me there was already a variance issued. So I just want to make sure, that we're not duplicating here.
Madam Chair, if I could clarify for you, and Ms. Leonard, the variance in 1950 allowed for a porch that was already at the sidewalk to be expanded, I forget which direction, I think they said to the east. So it just allowed them to enlarge the porch, not
Yeah,
actually bring the entire house closer to the sidewalk. But there, just for the record, there is that variance on file allowing them to, and it acknowledged that the house was already close to the sidewalk at that time.
The house was on the sidewalk, it seems.
yeah, they would still need the variance. This applicant built an entire second floor addition without permits. And they would need the variance regardless because the addition is it's regarding the home, not the porch. It's not the exact same variance request.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're not duplicating that. All right, any questions from the board?
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like the applicant to run through all these separate variances and why they're needed. And so, start from the top, gutters and downspouts not permitted in the front yard. Which way is the front yard? Because this is on a the house is on the side.
Technically, the front yard would be the alley. But the front door is right there along the sidewalk, right there, where the meter is at. That would be the front door.
Which picture? Are
The
you
one at the
referencing?
top left right here. That's technically the front of the house because of the front door, but I think the front of the house would be the alley side.
So let me make sure I understand, Madam Chair, the house, and I'm looking at the house that was here that was demolished, was oriented, the side of the house was oriented towards the street. So it wasn't, like most houses, the front door
Yes.
is facing the street. Here, you kept that same setup.
Yes.
So all you did, you kept the existing house as it was, the little blue house, and you built on top of it.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yes. Yes. It's the same exact. I remember the same exact footprint, the same exact way where the roof was going left to right, and so technically the front of the house would be.
Okay, so the reason you did a variance, so York Avenue is the front based on address. Okay, thank you, Ms. Leonard. So the reason for the gutter variance then is because technically the front of the house per the code is York and you have gutters running down the York side of the house.
Which one of those pictures reflect York? The York side of the house?
Top left.
Top
Got
left.
it.
So York is where that, that cone is. So
Okay.
that's the previous
Interesting.
house. It was,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Mhm.
this is York.
Okay.
The house is,
That is super helpful.
yeah.
Why is there like no windows or something in the front?
This bathroom and a laundry room right there. Windows are on the other side.
Chief Leonard, I can see that your hand has gone up. Do you want to chime in?
Yeah, so to clarify this, the way that this house is oriented, if uh, Xavier wants to bring back up the the map, you can see why the setbacks are and variance requests are here. So if you'll notice, this is kind of hard to see, but where this house is located, there is an alley. We wouldn't consider the front yard an alley, nor would the fire department. The fire department wouldn't want the alley to be the front, so they're addressed off of York. If you can go back to that map, yep. What you'll see here is there's only 2 homes on this block. They essentially create the block. And so the home on the corner, which is located at 2283 West 30th Street, that's oriented towards West 30th. This house is oriented, if you base its orientation of the door, is oriented towards York, but by code and by building and housing standards, York is the address. We make the front yard setback determination off of York. So gutters in a front yard setback are not permitted within the front yard encroachment, and then the actual front yard setback requirement variance request here is also here, but I do believe that they can make the argument that because of this orientation that you all should be able to grant that front yard setback, not to mention it did follow the footprint of the home, for better or for worse. But yeah, just to give you some orientation, the setback here would be determined by these homes on this block. So,
Okay.
and that one that's oriented towards West 30th obviously is set back further than where their home is.
Okay, that's super helpful. Thank you,
Yes, that
Chief.
is very helpful. Thank you. And then I'll go back to my line of questioning, Madam Chair, if I may. So did you work with city planning on this before you started this
Yes,
project?
so with the planning of it, we've sent, so when the inspector came out, when we was tearing it down, when everything was in the process, he came and told us to stop. I sent the blueprints in. We called him, he said, go ahead, build at your own risk. So there was some miscommunication between people where we paid for the permit, but I submitted some new plans because we have added the garage and the back deck. And at that time, they had came in and paid for it, and I was told everything was good to go, that most of the house was like, for the first set of plans was approved. We do have a permit for the house, but the first set of building plans, I guess, never got stamped because we submitted the new ones. And then, long story short, they were sitting around forever because we submitted them back in January, and we're just now sitting in front of you because Rodney kept sending them back and saying he needed stuff. So we had the first ones because I have the permit on site, and I talked to the inspector. He told me to call him after I'm done here to have him come out and look at it. So
Okay.
to answer the question, I was talking to, if you're meaning building 505, right? Room 505?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes. I
Building
was
and
in-
housing.
Yes.
So, Madam Chair, it looks like Shannon put her hand down, then raised her hand again. So I think it might be.
Okay, you have a new comment, Chief?
Yeah, the original permit was for an interior modification. I don't believe that the city was
Ah.
aware that they were going to create an entire addition on top. And so once they did, that's how they ended up with the Board of Zoning Appeals. But I do not believe they work with the neighborhood planner to go through, like I said, housing design review, because in some cases, an addition is not required for housing design review, but an addition of this level generally would require housing design review, but I don't believe they were routed to city planning.
I just submitted the plans and went through that process. I didn't speak to anybody or know nobody like that of working with housing.
Sorry, can you keep your voice?
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I didn't we didn't speak with anybody like that. I just submitted the plans to 505 and was waiting on that. But it was, like I said, they had paid the second portion of it because there was the first permit and then there was another one that they paid. They even paid the fees for it. But then when I submitted the second one, when I went about a month ago, when I found out nothing was being done before we came here, I talked to Roddy and asked him to pick it up. He said he even told the people in the front that it was approved. And when we're looking for the permit so I can call it for inspection, nobody can find it. But Roddy told me himself it was, and then I just gave up and I
Okay,
Kept
so it
coming
sounds
down.
like there was some miscommunication
Yeah,
and
there was a whole bunch of
confusion over the permitting issue. I'll go back to the variances though. It looks like we've discussed the reason for variance 2 with Ms. Leonard's assistance.
So I just want to direct a question to Chief Leonard before we go through the variances. Does it make sense for this to go through design review, or do you think that's an unnecessary step at this point?
At this point, I think it's an unnecessary step. It's as is, it's built, and
Okay.
yeah, I don't think there's really much for there to be discussed at this point.
Okay, all right, thank you for that. Go ahead, Ms. Roca.
So as for variance number 3, the gross floor area, can you speak to that?
So again,
Just speak up a little.
so again with that, like he said before, when he bought it on that, if she pulls the one back up, the house doubled, but it's the same footprint of the house. So I think it was 1,200 square feet originally. But like I said, it came with the other lot right there. If she goes back to the one, where they sold partial lot to it, the lot size would have been bigger. But at the same time, I think the beginning of the house was 1,200 square feet. I think now it's like 2,400. So that's where it's at now. We didn't make it no bigger, no wider, no nothing. We just made it taller. And according to the lot size, I mean, it has a garage, 2-car garage, that's set back from each of the fences in the neighbor's yard.
Well, we'll
No.
get to the garage. So variance number 4, the interior side yard is 3 feet. And yours is 1 foot 2 inches. Is that correct?
I'm not 100% sure if that is correct, but if it's this side yard, are they talking about the one between this house and the neighbor's house?
I think that's the side yard, and maybe Ms. Leonard, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's the side yard between the 2-car garage of the other house and then your house. Is that
No,
correct?
you have about 10 feet from that.
Am I on the wrong side yard? It's so confusing because this house is oriented in such a unique way. Ms. Leonard?
Which side yard are you referencing?
So I'm referencing variance 4, and I am trying to determine which side yard this is referencing. I thought it was the side yard closest to the adjoining structure that has a 2-car garage. Is that not the side yard that they were written up for?
I'm not exactly sure, but because I can't see the plans. But they do, if the plans examiner Rodney wrote this after multiple back and forths, I would assume that they would need that variance.
I guess the question is, to which side of the yard is it applying to? I mean, based on this drawing, it seems to me that it's applying to not the garage side, but the other side.
The
It's
other
applying to
side.
the other side. Give me 1 second.
Excuse me, this is Xavier Bay. If you're looking at looking at the screen on the right side of the screen would be the interior side yard. The left side of the screen would be the corner with that alley of York Court and York Ave. And then on the bottom of the screen is where that attached garage was. So that would technically be the rear yard.
Okay, that's super helpful.
Yes, okay.
And just for context, the alley is behind the side yard, is that
For
right?
context, the alley would be on the left side of the screen.
Okay, got it. Yeah, this house got us all confused.
Very, the orientation of it is very confusing.
And then if we look at these photos on the screen here, you'll see the top left photo is that interior side yard that's not meeting the minimum of 3 feet in the top left.
Top left is for number 4.
Correct.
Okay, so that was correct then. That's the
Oh,
side
okay,
of
I
the,
see.
where the 2-car garage is next door.
Correct.
Okay.
Which one?
But that's facing the street though. It's not necessarily
Between these two houses right here?
in between the homes,
Madam
right?
Chair,
Please.
Confused.
just one
Throw
thought
us a
on
bone.
looking at these, and looking at these photos. And I guess it would be just for Ms. Leonard maybe, or Mr. Bay even. There seem to be very few windows on these walls. Is it possible for design review to take a look at this again and then do some, or actually they haven't looked at it yet, but this is what we're seeing up in the right, in the left-hand corner. That's what they see from York, and there's no windows on that first floor.
Yeah.
This is the benefit of design review. When they build an entirely new house,
Yeah.
they have to go through design review, and it seems like they've done that. And it just, again, maybe we should consider having design review or the city planner look at the design of this structure.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when
Might
I
be able
saw
to
no
neg-
windows.
Maybe able to negotiate more windows.
Yeah. Chief Leonard, did you give us a new hand or is that an old one?
It's a new hand. Is
Okay.
there, I guess the question is, would the applicant be willing to go to design review? And if they make those requests to add windows, are they willing to do that at this stage? Or you guys make it a condition?
Yes, we could.
like
The only
that.
thing with right there in that specific part is where that is, there's stairs that go up. That's why there's no window there. I mean, it could be a window be put there.
Like in the stairwell, right?
Yes, there could, it could be. And then that's why on that, like, you see from the corner of the porch to the electrical box, there's a stairwell that goes there to there. So there could be a window that goes there and there if we needed to put one in.
Behind the electrical box, what's there?
A laundry room and then a bathroom in the back. There's windows on the back of the house. There's 2 windows on each side of the back where the 2 bedrooms are at.
Right, but
For
your
egress.
challenge is that, well, there were windows on that first floor on the old house, so you covered them up. And now you don't have any windows facing what a pedestrian
Yes,
sees
yes,
as the
yes.
front of the house.
But yes, we could put windows in if that's what needs to be done. It wouldn't be too much, it wouldn't be a
And what
problem.
about moving that electrical box device?
I don't know if the city of Cleveland would, because there's nowhere else to hook it up to.
That was actually there
That was there.
Okay.
before they started.
Because we had that.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard to, oh, shoot.
You got it? I can show you.
Chief, please chime in.
Yes. Oh, yeah, Madison.
One of the options is to postpone this and send them to city planning design review.
I think.
And maybe that would help absolve some of the variances that they're requesting.
I would be supportive of that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was leaning toward in the beginning. It does seem that there should be some design review here. Chief, 30 days for design review, is that sufficient?
I think so.
Okay, so we will allow you all to go through design review before we make a decision on this case. So we will postpone to, are we still at September 8th?
I think we could do August 25th.
August 25th? Okay.
Madam Chair, I just have an additional question for the
Please.
appellants. Are you doing, I think, did you work on the house next door too? No?
Hundreds of houses in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so have you gone through the design review process before? Are you familiar with it?
No, I never.
Okay, so just so you know, it seems like you're gonna be continuing to work on houses in the neighborhood. Before you get your permits, there's a process that you go through to have your design evaluated. And had you gone through that process before, as is required, we wouldn't be talking about like, can you add a window here? Can you, because they would have addressed that already. And it actually will make the project more efficient for you guys because you won't have to come here with half as many variances probably. So my recommendation is, as you continue to build in the neighborhood, make sure you go to design review before you, and remind me again, which step in the process is it? You file for the permit, then you go to design review, correct, Ms. Leonard?
Say that
I
one more
think-
time.
They file for the permit and then that triggers the design review meeting, correct?
Yeah, and so what happened to the board is that this applicant put in for an interior remodel, and so it didn't get routed to city planning at all. But it does need to get routed, obviously, because it's more than just a interior remodel. They built an entire second floor addition and
So it's
garage.
never been adjudicated for the addition?
It has been adjudicated for the addition, which is what is in front of you, but it was not routed to city planning for design review. And so that's an error from building and housing.
Okay.
But my point is, had it been, they probably could have eliminated
Some of these
variances.
variances. Yeah.
That's
Because
correct.
They would have worked with you and said, you're gonna need a variance for that. If you just design the house a little different, you wouldn't need to come see us about some of these things. So
That's
I guess my friendly commentary here is that as you continue to build in the neighborhood, just make sure that you go through the design review process because it may mean that you don't even end up at this full.
Okay. Can I state one
So
thing?
one question, Madam Chair, though, is, I think the appellant mentioned that they had torn it down all the way to the foundation. Can you clarify that for the record? Is this actually an addition or
It's a new
was
build.
this actually a rebuild from the foundation up?
Yeah.
Kind of more like a remodel. So the first floor was still structurally sound. The roof was kind of deteriorated, but I mean, it's gonna be a new build, but it's kind of not.
That it is a new build.
I mean, the subfloor, they replaced rotted stuff, but all the rim joists of the house is all still remaining. So all of that is, that's, so, and then we just built up from there.
Okay, understood.
We did some fixing on the foundation where there was, you know what I'm saying, maybe we waterproofed it and stuff like that, but.
Okay.
All
All
right,
right,
so-
well, we'll put this on, did we say August?
Yeah, we can get into August 25th. I don't believe they have to go before a full committee, but city planning will advise you of that. Is it Ms. Pabon? Is that right, Shannon or Xavier? Brittany Pabon, have you spoken to her?
No.
Then you can go straight down to 501 city planning. And there, I think there's a way to make an appointment with her. There's a computer at the counter there. Or there might be somebody available for you to speak to, but try to make an appointment with her right away.
So once we talk to her, then they'll lead us on to the next person.
Yep, and then you'll get on the design review calendar and you'll meet with them. They'll advise you on some changes and you may or may not be back to see us depending upon what happens at that meeting.
Okay.
They're still gonna need the
Probably
variance.
still gonna need them.
They're probably still gonna
Yeah.
need some, but
We
So,
should
because of
almost-
where the foundation is located, I mean, the board, we've taken testimony, the board is acknowledging that they recognize that you have a unique situation with the way the foundation is placed and the small side yards and so on and so forth. But it seems like the board's concerns are the lack of windows, the placement of the meter. So if you could speak with somebody in city planning, we might get a better design from that.
Will do.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right, so
That'll
we'll
work.
postpone this to August 25th and we'll see you all back then.
All right.
All
Thank you.
right,
Appreciate
Good
it.
luck with your
You have a
project.
great rest of the day.
You too. All right, on to our last and final case. This is at 19302 Davenwood Avenue. Do we have James Gibbons or someone on behalf of James?
Yes.
All right, perfect. While you come forward, we'll have Ms. Hoser read in the case.
My turn.
Finally, huh?
Our final case is calendar number 25-115. This is at 19302 Davenwood Avenue. James Gibbons, owner, proposes to install an electric generator unit in a side yard in an A1 one-family residential district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. And with that, I will hand it back to Ms. Roca for the oath.
Thank you, Ms. Holder. I'm swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your right hand, state I do, state your name, spell your name, and give your address.
I do. James Gibbons, James Gibbs, ONS 19302 Davenwood Drive, Cleveland 44135.
Thank you. And I'm just going to ask you to speak up so our court reporter can hear you
Okay.
as well. Is there anyone on the call for this case? Hearing none, back to you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you for that. We're going to go to history of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. There's been no change in the zoning since 1929. There are no variances on file for this address. In our Records Administration Office, we found that a permit was issued in 1962 to erect a 1 and 2 story single-family dwelling. In 1964, a permit was issued to erect a 1-story garage. And then in the more recent history, we see that in 2006, there were residential exterior alterations. There was a certificate of disclosure issued in 2019 regarding single-family use. An electrical permit was issued in August of 2024, and then again in May of this year. And that's all that I have. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right, thank you. Legal, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, appellant is requesting an area variance from the interior side yard encroachment requirements of the zoning code. To obtain the area variance, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variance will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Gibbons, you have the floor. Can you tell us about your project?
Yeah, I'd like to put a solar generator in. I live on the valley, and if you can see all the trees back there, that's where my power lines. And my neighbor here, the generator would go. Do you see the red fence back there?
Yes.
That's my fence. If I could.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the area back there. That's his garage, okay? And then this is the area it would go. And
So his garage is there?
His garage is here, there's no windows, and then the fence,
Oh, I see.
yeah.
So outside of the footprint of your fence? No, that's inside the footprint of your fence.
It would be.
Will it be where the
go
gray thing is?
Like that was, you wouldn't hear it because number one, it's gonna be fenced in. And you can't see it from the street because it's fenced in. And this way, Pete next door, I could run 220 amp plugs for him because he had to go to his brother's last August when we had that storm for 5 days because he had no power. But if I would give him 220 amp plugs, he could keep his refrigerator going on one of the 20 amps. And then on the other one, he could keep his cable, a fan, his lights. He wouldn't be able to run his air conditioning or anything because I wouldn't have enough power. But if my only option would be to go all the way in my back, which it would echo off the valley, and I could put it back there, but I'd lose so much power putting it back there, I wouldn't be able to give Pete any power because just wouldn't have it. I'd only have enough power to run my house.
What do you mean you would lose power by putting?
Because of the run, because the farther you run the electricity, you lose power every foot.
Yep.
So it'd be so far back, I would have to get literally a generator 1/2 or 3/4 larger, which would be, it's just not financially feasible.
Okay.
But if I put it on the side between the garage and the canopy, I can put the plugs right there. I already got it okay from generator one. I just need I have to get the variance. So
How many feet would you have to run it if you were to put it in the rear of the home? Like, what's that distance approximately?
another 60 or 70 feet.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot.
And like I said, my power lines are back there and I have like 8 to 10 100-foot tall oak trees back there.
Yeah.
So every storm, I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And I have a portable generator that'll run my house. It's just, what if I'm not home? And I have an 11-year-old lab that likes air conditioning.
Of course.
Mabel, baby Mabel, the queen.
All right.
But and plus he left it. Did you get my note from him?
I was going to ask that. No. Okay, there we go. Pete, and so Pete is your neighbor?
Yes.
All right, and it says, I, James Gibbons, discuss putting a generator on a pad enclosed between the garage and fence and canopy not visible to the neighbors. Mr. Garcia is in favor of this as it will serve both residences. Okay, and that's Pete's signature at the bottom of that note?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, any other comments for the board to consider?
No.
Madam Chair, I just have one question. So in terms of, noise, how much noise does this generator generate?
It's less than a lawnmower.
So it's
It'll run.
equivalent of like an air conditioning unit, that level of noise?
Right, it'll run 7 minutes. So the reason I went with generator one is because they'll do the monitoring for me. I'll have 24-hour monitoring. If it ever doesn't if the gas somehow loses its pressure, it'll tell me when I need an oil change, a filter. They will monitor it 24 hours a day. So because it's a machine and it's outside my house and for number one, insurance purposes, if something happens and I have to make a claim, number one, they're gonna wanna know where I got the variance. And and I'm gonna go, listen, this is generator one. They can let me know if breaker trips or anything, And it was a lot more expensive for me to do it this way, but it was kind of peace of mind.
Does it run all the time?
Nope.
No,
It runs
when the power is out.
only when the power's out, and it'll run 7 minutes once a week to do system analysis. You know what I mean? And it's cellular. It's not off Wi-Fi, so it's cellular. So it's
It's not a hard telephone line. It's not a POTS line.
No. So they sold me on that because I had sucker written on my forehead, and
Well, the POTS lines, these types of things are not very effective because, you want a cellular line, so.
Right, and that's what they said too. I said, I'm already, I'm in the hole so deep on this thing already. Sell me one more thing, But the thing is, like I said, I have those power lines back there, and it's just like I lost power for 5 days last time, and then a week later I lost power again. That's what I pulled the permit for. I didn't know CEI, my electrical globe outside. Well, he takes it off and it lugs in there were arcing and stuff. I'm like, well, when can you guys fix it? He's like, oh no. I go, what? We don't fix that. I go, no, from the mast down to the globe and then to your electrical. I go, that's all on you. So then I go to do all this stuff. He goes, and I call them, the Louis come, oh, did you do this? Did you do that? I said, besides bribe politicians, what do you people do? I mean, it was one thing after another.
Okay, any comments from city planning?
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Xavier Bay, representing City Planning. Typically, we would recommend these be placed into the rear yard. I think that's all I had to say commenting on this. I mean, I understand, due to the storms we're having more occasionally that this kind of thing is necessary, but that would be City Planning's recommendation for this to be placed in the rear yard.
Okay, all right. Other questions from the board? All right, I'll entertain a motion, please.
Madam Chair, based on the testimony we've heard today, I move that we approve calendar number 25-115.
All
Board
right,
Member Madison, second.
all right, can we call the vote?
Ms. Holzer?
Yes.
Mr. Madison?
Yes.
Ms. Roca?
Yes.
Ms. Wilson?
Yes.
Count number 25-115 is granted. It'll be ratified next Monday. We'll send you a letter, but you can contact us next Wednesday for further instruction.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
All right.
You have
good
a
luck with
paper
your
copy,
project.
so you'll have to come pick it up. So Wednesday or Thursday up next.
Next week, they're going to send me something in the mail and then
Yes, you don't have to wait for it though. You can come pick it up on Thursday of next week,
Thursday of next week, do I come to 501?
516, same room that you applied at.
Okay. Same place I couldn't find the elevator from. This one's gonna be easy.
Good luck with your.
All right, good luck to you.
Thanks, guys. I really
Yes.
appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. All right, we have concluded all of our matters for today. We're going to now go on to old business. I have items number 1 through 4 up for ratification. Any objection?
No objection.
All right, without objection, and that concludes our old business. It is now 10:49 and we are adjourned.
Madam Secretary, I just want to make sure you have my, I'm going to be at a conference in September. Do you have that?
Yeah, on the 15th.
Yep. Okay. I need to make sure.